there are a lot of opportunities to win football games down the stretch. So I think that this week is a big swing, and the win probability numbers back this up as well. If they win, everything is a lot.
The Vikings just got their first win last Sunday, and now host the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Let's gaze into our crystal balls a little bit. Let's look into the future and say that the Vikings pull off the home upset over the Kansas City Chiefs. Would they be a legitimate threat to make the playoffs in the NFC if they were able to beat the Chiefs this weekend?
Yeah, and I don't think it's impossible that they could beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs looked more human than usual against the New York Jets last week, and we know what the Vikings offense can do when it's ticking. If the Vikings are able to pull off an upset here and go to 2-3, they go to Chicago next week, which is not always a guarantee. We know that from history, but that's a pretty poor Chicago team. Play San Francisco, and then you look at the rest of the schedule. There are a lot of opportunities to win football games down the stretch. The Atlanta Falcons have a struggling quarterback. The New Orleans Saints have not gotten out of Derek Carr what they expected. The Vegas Raiders have not gotten out of Jimmy Garoppolo what they expected, and he's been hurt. The Denver Broncos can't stop anyone. And even with the Green Bay Packers, normally you would say, hey, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to be pretty tough over there. But it's not Aaron Rodgers anymore. And that Packers team is good, but it has some flaws, including injuries have been a major issue for Green Bay. And Jordan Love is still working his way through his first full season as a starter. So you can start to really see how it could play out, where the Vikings could be in that playoff race. Also, because there's not a lot of amazing competition in the NFC. There's a couple of teams that you'd be chasing against the rest of the way. If they lose this game, the margin for error becomes so small that if you do make a mistake against the New Orleans and Atlanta, Denver teams that aren't as good, then that's probably going to be enough to kick you out of the playoffs. And it's similar to what we saw in 2020 and 2021, where they were in the hunt, and then they have a bad loss, and then they're out of the playoffs. So I think that this week is a big swing, and the win probability numbers back this up as well, that if the Vikings lose, you're probably talking 10% chance or less to make the playoffs. It's a real long shot. If they win, everything is a lot.
That's been another Purple Insider Extra for Bring Me the Sports. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Purple Insider podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you next time.